It's Wednesday and you're very welcome to another episode of the Watchtower with me, your host DK. Well, we've been looking at some Chinese homages to Swiss manufacturers, but what about a Russian watch? I'd say very few people watching this channel have seen a Russian watch, and I've got a really interesting one, the Raketa 2628H Perpetual Calendar, made by the company Raketa. Very interesting company with a lot of heritage behind it, very revered in the watch circles today, but they didn't start out like that. I'm going to give you a quick history lesson as well before we get into the watch. Without any further ado, let's get into it. Remember guys, if you liked the video, please don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. In terms of Raketa, they began actually making watches in 1961 to commemorate Yuri Gagarin, the cosmonaut's first manned mission to space. They were produced all the way through the Cold War. They were made to be easy, simple to repair, tough and resilient, and available to all members of the Soviet Union. All movements are made in-house, and they've actually become a bit of a niche brand now that commands quite a high price for some of their watches. They're in competition with some of the major Swiss brands, and when I say all movements made in-house, it means that they produce all pieces and assemble them all together inside their own factories. They don't buy in anything, and they don't actually outsource any of their movements. So guys, here is the watch. No unboxing today because it's a second-hand watch. I bought it for about €24 without this cheap plastic strap on eBay. Just threw a strap on it. You can see there some of the wear and tear from years of use and abuse, you should say. You can see there this is the English version. There is a Russian Cyrillic one as well, but I just bought the English one because at least it's somewhat usable. You can see there the Raketa logo at 9 o'clock and some information there on the date and day. So the watch itself is 40mm in diameter, 41.8mm at the crown, 42mm lug tip to lug tip. The width of the strap is 18mm, it's 12mm thick, and it weighs in at just 60 grams. So very, very light on wrist and very easy to wear. So guys, this watch is not actually stainless steel, it's brass with the chrome plating. You can see there where the aging process has taken place and the chrome plating has come off a little bit. You can also see these are simple stick or baton hands with a piece of actual plastic is covering the dial. It's not sapphire and it's not mineral glass, it's just plastic. You can see there's a little crack down the bottom right hand side. All these indices are just printed onto this blue dial. So guys, up the top there you can see there are some numbers printed at the top and the months of the year are printed down the bottom. This is a perpetual calendar, which means that you can actually use it to tell exactly what date of the month will fall on what day in which month. So you do that by, you can actually see up the top there, just very faintly, there are days of the week, and also down the bottom there are years. Previously when this watch was made, you could actually use the year function and it would cycle through the days at the top as well. And whatever day lined up with whatever date, you would be able to use that then to tell which date of the month was going to fall on which particular day. So let's say if you wanted to know 3 Thursdays from now, what date that would be in, let's say August, you could use this function and it would tell you exactly. So guys, just to pop back on this one, no water resistance, but I said I'd take off the back so you could see that Soviet era movement in all its glory. The 2628H, completely developed and produced by Raketa in-house. The H is for hand wind. This isn't an automatic movement, so you do need to remember to hand wind it each morning. Apparently it's a 45-hour power reserve, but to be honest, I found over the time it's been with me, it's been about a day. Also, this watch, it has a quick set for the date, which is a bit different. You actually just pull out the crown to the second position all the way out and it just snaps forward. No change for the day, unfortunately. In terms of functionality of this watch, you hand wind the watch by using the crown there in the middle. You turn it away from you. Make sure to have good nails for this because, to be honest, after years this crown has worn down and is almost completely smooth. There is very little purchase on this one. Pulling out the crown once allows you to move the minute hand there to set the time, and if you pull it out all the way as to the second position and hold it out, you will see there the date pops. So you need to just pull it out and it quick snaps over. Unfortunately, there is no way of quick setting the day. The only way to set the day is to actually move the hands around 24 hours until you get to the next day. So for perspective guys, here is the watch out in some natural sunlight on my 7-inch wrist. It actually goes really well, that blue with that kind of tan colour strap. The strap could be better quality, but that's not Raketa's fault, that's my fault for buying a cheap strap. It looks really well, that domed plastic actually suits the watch a lot, and it's pretty legible even in direct sunlight with those black hands against the blue and white dial. So guys, time to take a look at some macro shots. You can see there the white numbers printed on at the top of the dial. There's also the days just peeking out underneath that acrylic crystal there. It's kind of hard to make out, but just there you can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Also, I've worked out that 1987 works out perfectly to line up with 2020, so you can still use this as a perpetual calendar. Cut out for the date there in white against the blue background, the months down there, and made in USSR above the 6 o'clock marker, which means this watch predates 1990, so this watch is actually older than I am, which is incredible. And Raketa there at 9 o'clock. So guys, time for the likes and dislikes on this video. Very few dislikes this week. The fact that it's got an acrylic crystal and the fact that it's a brass case coated in chrome, these were done because they were trying to save money and also make it more affordable to the everyman in the USSR. Realistically, these are things that I'm fine with, and they're very easily to repair as well, which is another function of this watch. The only dislike I have is this crown. I don't know how well it was knurled or grooved originally, but it's almost completely worn smooth now and it makes it very hard to grip. The one down there for changing the year is fine, it's just the 3 o'clock one. Things I like about the watch are the colour and the legibility. The blue and the white goes really well with the black hands and you can read it at every angle really. The functionality as well, the fact that you can use it and tell 2020 is the same as 1987 in years, which means that you can tell 2 weeks from Thursday and all these kind of things for work is really handy. And the fact that this is such a kitchen novel watch, it's really a product of its time. It looks very different. It looks kind of old school and sort of a bit of a novelty. But I mean, I love the fact that it's a rushed watch and it's of its era. H, the Perpetual Calendar model. This is a great watch for such a little price. I paid, as I say, €24 for it without the strap and just stuck a cheap plasticky strap on it. I think it looks actually pretty well, in fairness. It's a great watch. It doesn't look like anything you'll have seen in a shop anywhere. And the fact that this is a watch that could be over 30 years old and is still keeping perfect time, admittedly not holding its power reserve as much as it should be, but that's neither here nor there. The timekeeping on it is great. It's probably accurate within about 15 to 20 seconds a day, which for a cheap Russian watch is pretty phenomenal. Guys, if you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you'd like to see me do next. I'm off out to do a barbecue because the weather is glorious. So until next time, next Wednesday, guys, Nostrovia, which is cheers in Russian, and I'll see you then.